everyone, Coach Willem here, and this is our new warm-up, our B1P1 warm-up. So we're starting a brand new block of training. We're going to be starting our new training cycle with a focus on endurance and weight loss. This is our spring block of training, and what we want to do in this warm-up is we want to take care of some of the issues that I've been seeing a lot of our members have, which is tight necks, tight shoulders, and surprisingly, we have some tight calves. And that's where we're going to begin. So the new warm-up, we're going to be focusing in on the first part of doing some soft tissue work together. So we're going to begin with foam rolling the calves. What we want to do here is we want to stack our one leg on top of the other. And then there's two ways that we can do this, is we can just keep our butt to the ground and just gradually go up and down here. And what we want to do is we want to go slow and controlled. We want to go all the way down and up. That's one roll. We're going to do 5 rolls on each side. Now, to make this a little bit more intense, I can raise my hips up, and I want to get through the meaty part of my calf. So what I mean by that is this main area here, the big part of my calf, that's where I'm going to be focusing in a lot of that pressure. So we're going to do 5 rolls on the calf. As soon as we're done there, now that we want to begin with inhibiting the muscle, meaning we are doing some soft tissue work. Now that we've loosened that up, what we want to do is we want to stretch that muscle now. So what I want to do is I want to place the band around the center of my foot. I'm going to get some tension, I'm going to hold. And we're going to just hold for a 5 count. 1, 2, all the way up to 5. Switch, and then we're going to go and do the same thing on the opposite side. Now, the last thing that we want to do in this part is we want to do a foot crunch. With a foot crunch, all we're going to do is we're going to squeeze our toes as hard as we can, trying to pick up grass from the ground. Relax, pull, then relax. We're going to do 5 crunches on each foot. So what we're doing is we're using the foam roller to inhibit the muscle, meaning again, we're loosening it up. Afterwards, that banded stretch, we're lengthening the tissue. And then afterwards, we're going to be activating the tissue by focusing in on the foot crunch. So the next thing that we're going to go over is the lat. So with the lat, what we want to do here is we want to foam roll it. I'm going to lay onto my side. Now when I'm in this position, I'm going to reach my arm as far out as I can. It doesn't have to be overhead, no. Just kind of at an angle. Now the main area I'm going to get is at the armpit and slightly behind, actually. So this is going to be the entire lat. This is a very tender spot. So I'm going to stay in this stationary position and just roll lightly up and down 5 times. So I'm just going upwards and downwards with my body. Again, you can tell by my face that this is causing a lot of tension, so just be mindful here. Afterwards, what we're going to do is we're going to lay the foam roller across our shoulder blades. So I want to make sure that it's right in line with the shoulder blades. What I want to do next is a thoracic extension. We're going to be holding for a 5 count. Depending on where you're at with your mobility, you might begin with your hands behind your head. Otherwise, you might go into arms extended, full extension. Now we're going to hold. 1, 2, up to a 5 count. So again, with the shoulder, what we're doing here is we're inhibiting the muscle, the lat. Afterwards, we are lengthening it through this extension. Then we're going to activate it by going into our prone cobra. And with these, we're going to do 5. So with the prone cobra, I'm going to start on my stomach. My palms are facing the ground. Now from this position, keeping contact with the ground, I'm just going to raise my chest off the ground with my hands up, down, then back up. We're going to do 5. Again, this is a lot of core and a lot of back that we're working on, that we're getting to activate. As soon as I find my lacrosse ball, we'll move into the next part. So the last area that we're going to get into is the neck, the trap area. So with the trap, it's this muscle in between the shoulder and the neck. So it's right here in the middle. I'm going to grab the lacrosse ball and I'm going to place it just slightly behind and above my shoulder. So what I want to do is I'm going to find this tight area that I have. Again, it's just going to be right on the trap. What I want to do is I want to bend my elbow at 90 degrees. From here, I'm just going to reach it back and then forward. 5 times on each side. So again, some of us might not be able to reach all the way back. That's okay. We want to go as far back as we can. We're going to do 5 on each side. Then we're going to sit up and go through our lateral neck stretch. So from this position, your legs can be crossed, they can be whatever. But basically what we want to do is we want to be tall and tight, tuck our chin back slightly. And then we're going to pour water out of our ear, getting a stretch throughout the back of the ear, down. So again, I'm tucking my chin, I'm dropping it. The other thing that I can think about is like the other side of my face, from my jaw down to my chin. I'm trying to reach it up to the ceiling. That way I can get a deeper stretch in the neck. Then the last thing that we're going to do in this this prehab is what we're referring to it as, is our chin tucks. So with the chin tucks, what I want to do here is I'm going to let my body get long. I'm going to tuck my chin. I'm going to raise up, bring it back down, relax. Tuck the chin, raise up, bring it back down, then relax. Those we're going to do 5. So that's the first part of the warm-up. This is our prehab work. Again, we're working on the areas that we're struggling with. Neck, shoulders, and calves. We want to loosen those areas up. We want to lengthen them, and we want to get them to be active again. Now we're going to get into the dynamic portion of the warm-up, meaning this is our movement prep. This is going to let us get our body ready for the training session that we're going to do today. We want to begin with a minute of breathing. Hand on the chest, hand on the stomach. Slow and controlled, just relax. It's just regular breathing here, focusing in on the diaphragm and the belly, doing majority of the work. As soon as we're done there, we're going to go into some banded leg raises. We're going to do 5. With those banded leg raises, we're going to place the band in the center of the foot. We're going to lay down. Now what I want us to do is we're going to raise our leg up as high as we can. And at the top, where you find that end range of motion where you can't move any further, is where you're going to use the band and add in a light pull. So again, I'm going to raise my leg up as high as I can. Give it a light pull at the top. Bring it back down. 5 on each side. Next, we're going to go into a hand behind the head rotation. But we're going to go into a deep quadruped position. So our toes are relaxed, our hips are sitting all the way back, and our forearm is on the ground. The reason that we're doing this is we're going to get that low back to be locked out. That way it's not involved in the movement. My hand goes behind my head. Now from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly raise up, looking past my armpit, bringing it back down. With these, we're going to do 5 on each side. Next, we're going to get into a push-up position plank with head rotation. With the head rotation, we're going to do 3. So it's just a regular plank. Now, the thing that's different is we're turning our head from side to side. I'm letting my eyes control where my head goes, getting a nice turn as I go through this. 3 turns on each side. Next, we're going to go into our hand behind the head squats, 8. With this, hands are behind the head, those elbows should be opened up. We want this chest and this upper back to be open. We're going to reach our hips back, spread the floor with the knees, drive your feet into the ground, and stand tall. We're doing 8. Next, we're going to move into a banded hip hinge. We're doing 8. So grabbing our band, what we're going to do is we're going to step inside of it. That way there's tension on the band. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through a banded hip hinge. So my feet are shoulder width apart. I'm tall and tight. Drive my feet into the ground and stand tall. I hinge back. Now at the top, just hold for a second because that's where the resistance is going to be. So we're adding accommodating resistance to the movement, meaning the tension gets lighter as I go down. But as soon as I start extending to stand tall, the tension gets tight. So we're doing 8. As soon as you're done there, we're going to move into YTWs. With those YTWs, we're going to be doing 4. So with the YTWs, it's important to make sure our thumbs are facing behind us the entire time. Why? Because it's working the rotator cuff. So with the YTW, we'll start with our thumbs up, make a giant Y, bring it back to center, palms are facing the ceiling. Giant T, back to center, bend those elbows down, reach those arms back, a giant W. So, in sequence, Y, T, W. We're gonna do 4. We're gonna finish with snap downs. We're gonna do 5. With those snap downs, we wanna start with our feet shoulder width apart. We're gonna raise our arms up with our toes up. So this is the starting position. We're as tall as we can get. Drop your hips back and hold. Raise back up. Snap down, hold. Stand back up. Snap down and hold. We're gonna do 5. Just to get another view, I'm up on my toes, my arms are up high, I snap my hips back, drop my arms down.